All right, it's cold start day, so here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start back here in the back left corner. I'm going to check and make sure that everything is off except for primary, which I'm going to rotate fully bright. Off, off, that's all looking good. Make sure that none of the buttons are pushed in here. Make sure that this cover's down, switches are in the neutral position, or the center position rather. Make sure that the master ignition switch is off, rotor brake switch is off, zero eye switch is aft, buttons are not pressed in, NVS mode switch is off. Adjust the brightness as desired for day or night. We'll start the brightness and contrast there at the 12 o'clock. Same thing with the gain and level, and I'm going to rotate the symbology brightness maximum. Buttons are not pushed in, and the switch covers are down. Test switch is in the center. Brightness is set as appropriate for day or night. Same thing with the mode day or night. Video is 12 o'clock, and then same thing on this MPD. Brightness is set, mode is set, and the video brightness is set to 12 o'clock. I'll adjust the UFD as required based on day or night time. Park brake is set, handles out. These switches are in their default position, so centered and centered. Windshield wiper is off. Master zero eyes is down. The standby attitude indicator is caged, and I'm going to rotate the RLWR volume up. My HDU is already on my face, so I don't have to worry about putting it on, so that's cool. And now we are ready to start the battery, or bring the battery out. So now I'm going to identify the battery. Battery comes on. No communications with SP, cool. All right, that's all powered up and looking the way it should. Lean forward just a little bit, identify that press test, push press test, and verify that all of the lights in the cruise station are illuminating, and they are, and then I'll let that go. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the fire panel, and I'm going to go 3 fire, master warning, aft deck fire, and audios. All right, now I'm going to go to, I got 3 fire, 2 discharge, aft deck fire, master warning, and there we go. All the audios reset to master caution. Just for a little flair, we'll go to the Vox, or push talk rather, because if I'm in the actual aircraft, I'm going to yell real loud to clear APU, and then I'll go back to Vox, and then reach over here and bring the APU on. I get APU start, APU power on. I should see an Accum oil PSI low that's not currently simulated on here. Basically, that's just saying that, hey, the accumulator has been used to start the APU, so it empties itself and then it's been recharged once that message goes away. All right, cool. That's all good. Looking good. And now we can go ahead and bring the canopy closed. Master load, not implemented yet, but the first thing I would do is push that master load button right there, and that would start loading up all of the information off of the DTU. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the TSD page, and I'm going to start setting my show page options. So I fly exclusively in the nav phase, and I fly with everything on. So that's how I set this up. I already have some targets and threats out there, so I do want those threat rings, so I'm going to turn those on. I'm going to select all of these options on as well. Back out of there, go to the util page, set local time. As of recording, looking at 1159er and 00 seconds. Enter. Cool, that's updated and doing what it's supposed to do. And now I'm going to go to the map page. Set my scale as well. Aircraft color banding there. We can use dig for our maps. So that's looking good. Back out of there. Nothing to do on the BAM page. Select the weapon page now. Now I'm going to select grayscale. Notice that I have 10 shades of gray here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can't really see 9 and 10 up here. So what I need to do is I need to adjust both the brightness and contrast. I'm just going to kind of move them up here a little more, maybe just a little more there. All right, there we go. There's 9, and 10 is just barely breaking out from the background. That's what we're looking for. That is a good grayscale. All right. And actually, I might need to dial this back just a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little better. All right, a little more difference between them. So, all right, cool. So that's good. So now we'll deselect grayscale, select boresight, IHADS, and I'm going to adjust my seat up just a little bit. There we go. That was a little too much. All right, there we go. A little bit to the right, a little bit down, right there. That's what we're looking for. And then I'm going to push the cursor on my throttle because that's where I've got that map to, and I'm going to bore sight, and we are now complete. Now, just to make this a little bit easier to kind of see stuff, I'm going to actually also hide my HDU for now and zoom in just a little bit. All right, so on the weapon page, I'm going to go gun. I like burst 20. Burst 20 work really well, so I'm going to go there. Missiles. First thing I'm going to do, Alpha, our primary channel, Alpha, needs to match our LRFD, and our alternate, Bravo, needs to match our LST. So I need to go right here to the code page, LST, set Bravo, back out of the code page, and boom, Alpha, Alpha, Bravo, Bravo. Good. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my channels. I like having 4 be Romeo, R for remote. So that's kind of how I set that up. This is me, this is Wingman 1, this is Wingman 2, and then this is whatever the remote frequency is. Then I'm going to select rocket. And yeah, quantity 1 will be just fine for now. Manual range, we'll set 1,000, works for me. And my acquisition source is going to be GHS. Unless we're going straight to the objectives, then I'll make it TADS. But for now, GHS will work just fine. Next, back out of there, we're going to select the engine page. Sys page is looking good. ETFs is not simulated. Warning, caution, advisory, reset. We'll go back to the engine page via the aircraft button because I can't get there through that. Flight page set. I'm going to set the low bug. 55 works for me. Set the altimeter and inches and kilometers. That's all looking good. Back out of the set page, go to the fuel page. Transfers auto. Boost is off and the crossfeed's normal. So that's fine. I'm going to stage a 15-minute fuel check for a little bit later. And then I'm going to go up the perf page, just verify that that looks good with my performance planning that I've done, and it does. Cool. Back out of there, util page. Keep the anti-icing manual. Everything selected off. Set your cruise station temperature as you desire. All right, then we'll back out of there. And that, if we had comms, I would also go through and do comms. You know, so I can do, say, team 1, let's see, and single channel. Yeah, see, we're not there yet. So once comms are there, I'll have to do an addendum to this, but there we go. Anyway, come back up an aircraft and assist page, and then I'm going to bring that to on so it can run through its bit, set that to CMOS, and there we go. That's all looking good. All right, so now let me just reset myself here. We'll get into the start. So what I'm going to do is just kind of run through the start. So start switch on 1 is identified. Oh, actually, before I start that, let me do this. We'll go ahead and bring those anti-collision lights to white for the start, indicate so everyone knows we're starting. And now we'll go ahead and start the engine. So start switch is identified. Going to start. I have the start box, no start advisory, which is interesting. And we have positive NG, TGT is less than 80, power lever is to idle, and we'll start the time on the UFD. Got a rise in engine oil, got a rise in TGT, waiting on MP. There's MP at 5 seconds, that's good. Continue to monitor TGT and NG. Starter box went out after 52%, and I had like a 539 look like peak TGT. So that's good with all indications. All right, we're at idle, good, and resetting. That was all within 45 seconds, so cool. All right, now we're going to go engine number 2. So start switch is going to start. I have the start advisory, or start box. There is no start advisory, which is weird. TGT was less than 80. Power lever goes to idle, and time started on the UFD. Got a rise in TGT, engine oil, NP within 3 seconds. That's fine. Continue to monitor TGT and NG. All right, still coming up. Starter box went out after 52%, and 620 or 630 peak TGT. That is 2 good starts. All right, looks good, and restarting. And again, that all indications was within 45 seconds of bringing the power lever to idle, so that's good. Cool. All right, so now, let's see, where's our... Okay, yep, INU's aligned, so that's all looking good. Got all my maps and stuff displaying. Actually, I'm going to switch back to a chart. And I think 1/1 million? Yeah. 1 over 1 million, maybe 1 over 500. There we go. 1 over 500 will work just fine. So now we're just waiting. Rotor brake switch is off. The blades are turning, so that's looking good. And power levers 1 and 2 are identified and coming to fly. So I'm just going to slowly bring them up, trying to keep the combined torque less than 30% as I'm doing this. Okay, momentary increase above 101 is fine. It's going to come back down. All right, NPN and R are verified at 100%. Master warning caution. We got APU on table lock select. APU is identified and selecting off. And then from there, we would run through our before taxi check and taxi out. And there we go. That's cold start from me. Have a good one.